Hey guys, Lucius here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Now, I know Mondays can suck. Believe me, I hate Mondays just as much. Today's not really like a super fun topic, but I want to see if there's anybody out there who can kind of relate to what I went through as a child. Um, so, my birth mom had me at 15. And she was a drug user. I'm a drug baby. Um, and then I was adopted at birth, and my adopted family was, I don't even know. I don't know. I just I don't I can't really remember the age that I really just stopped caring about them. Like they always treated me different, like I wasn't one of their kids. And how do I say this? Um, they always used to say, like, oh, back when I was a female, they said, oh, well, she looks so much like us, and da 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 da. And if you look at the pictures, I don't look anything like them, actually. So that's a lie. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I think being adopted is one of the crappier things. And I say that because they treat you differently. And they always say, oh, you look like us, but I never once looked like them. I think the only person that I really kind of maybe looked like was my big brother, or one of them. I don't know. But yeah, the memories that I have with my adopted family growing up are not like super fun. Um, I remember getting spanked a lot. I remember getting, wooden spoons broken on our backsides, and I remember hangers being snapped on me and whatever. But I don't really. I mean, Dakota's family is the first family that I've seen that's like wild and crazy and out of control, but they're an actual family. They have a good relationship. They have their arguments, but then they make up and get over it. And it's awesome. I did end up meeting my biological mother um, without the knowledge of my adopted parents. I can't remember how old I was. I think I was. I know it was on a birthday, I think. I was like 20 or 21. I think I was 20 or 21 at the time. I can't remember. Um, but actually, hi. She came to my student living because I was sick, and she brought some things for me. But when I met my biological mother in person, you could tell that we were related. It was pretty. Um, it was pretty clear that I was her child, and I don't know. I'm grateful for my biological mother. When I moved in with them, I lived with them for like 6 months, but I'm going to tell you something. It was the best 6 months of my life. They got me out of a bad relationship, um, and they got me back on my own feet, and it meant a lot to me because I got to experience being with my biological mother and actually having that time together. Um, I learned at that time too that it was an open adoption, which meant she could see me whenever she wanted to, except that wasn't the case. I saw her, I think, when I was like 3, and that was only one time. And then I never saw her again. Never heard from her, nothing. Um, I don't know. I can't remember if she said that she sent letters and, pictures and all that, and they just discarded them, and they never talked about her. They never brought anything up. They never let me see her. Um, I remember when I was like 16 or something, and she was asking if I wanted to come over for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And I remember my adopted dad being like, oh, well, no, you can't go over there because what if we don't get you back? I think that's the biggest thing is my adopted parents treated me like I was their property. Um, but I'm going to say this. Uh, if it were my choice as a child, I would have chosen to go back with my biological mother. I also didn't know. My grandma let this slip when I was at her house one time, and she was in her bathroom. I was talking to her. She said, "Oh, have you heard from, or did you know you have a little brother?" And da 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 da. And I was like, I had no idea, and that I think put a lot of resentment in me towards my adopted parents even more because my birth mom had my little brother, and I'm not going to put his name on here because I respect his privacy. Um, but she was like, yeah, you have a little brother, and I had no idea. My mom had him 2 years after having me, and when I asked my adopted parents about it, they got defensive and basically made up a whole bunch of lies about how bad of a person she was and, this and that. But when I met her in person, it was all a lie. And now I'm rebuilding that connection with my biological mom on my terms, not my adopted parents' terms. And I'm going to say this, and if you're adopted or if you are parents that are looking to adopt, let me make something clear in a respectful manner. Be honest with your adopted child um, because it's going to affect them later in the future. It affected me, like, if they have siblings, let them know. Be like, hey, this is your sibling. If you want to meet them, you can. Or here's pictures of your siblings. But don't hide things from them because it doesn't do anybody any good. They're going to find out sooner or later when they get older. And I wouldn't blame them for resenting you when they find out on their own. That's something you kind of want to, have something brought to you and be like, look, you have siblings, and this is where they live, and this is how old they are, this is what they look like. Because had I been able to go over to my biological mother's house, I would have been a really good big brother, I think. I think I would have had a lot of fun with my big brother or my little brother, and oh, hi. Hello. Yes, I love you. But, yeah, Fillmore. Philly. Can you sit? Good girl. Thank you. But yeah, no, that's my advice is just be honest with your adopted child. Because I hold a lot of resentment towards my adopted parents. Fillmore, back up. Go on. I'm almost done. I do hold a lot of resentment, and there was a lot of things, that also caused me to just completely shut them out from my life and never talking to them again. And those details I will not be going into. I think that's more of a private matter, especially with how I texted my adopted mother. But what I will say is I would have much preferred living with my biological mother. I wouldn't have gotten religion shoved down my throat. I wouldn't have been forced to live as a girl my entire life. Um, I mean, my first couple days with my mom when I told her I was trans and this is what's going on, and she was like, okay, let's figure it out. What name do you want to go by? What clothes do you want? You know, she was helping me. What hairstyle do you want? I'll cut your hair. I have a friend that can cut your hair. Um, that is how a parent should react, you know, when their kid comes over to them and trusts them to tell them anything. And she treated me like her son. She still does. She calls me son. I love you. You know, she, like, I'm the oldest. And so I think I'm the golden child because she had that deep connection as a first parent with me. Even though I might not have been around physically, there's still that deep connection. And yeah, so um, like I said, it's not a super fun topic, but I want to see if there's anybody out there who can relate. Were you treated differently, or were you treated like one of the adopted kids, or were you treated like their child? Because I'm curious. I want to know. Um, but yeah, and my experience being adopted sucks. It majorly, majorly sucks. Um, you know, I tried to make things work from the time I was like 18 when I first came out to them until like a few weeks ago. You know, I've been trying for a long time to make things work, and it just wasn't going to happen. And I'm okay with that. Um, I think this video too is helping me with closure. Like, I did everything I could. I talked to them. I respected them. I showed them love and care. And I never once yelled at them. I never once cursed at them. I never did anything to disrespect them in any way, shape, or form the last, I would say, several months. Um, and it didn't matter what I did, it just wasn't good enough. Or I just couldn't make them happy, you know, and that's just how it is. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, I mean, it's their life. I'm living my life how I want. They can live theirs how they want. If they want to try to shove their religious, I won't say crap, their religious beliefs, because I do believe that everybody has a religion, and if it makes you a better person, then why not? But their religious beliefs, if they're going to force them onto people, and especially to me and my husband and my family, I'm not okay with that. And that's when you need to, like, just put the walls up and just make them go away. And that's what I did. And I feel better. My depression's better. My anxiety is getting a little bit better. Obviously, I'm still healing because part of me is like, I want to care about them. But the other part of me is like, let them go. They're not doing anything good for you. They're just stressing you out, causing you depression and anxiety. They're telling you you're not good enough. They're telling you you're living in sin and you need to be detransitioned and all of that crap. Let him go. That's what the other part of my brain is saying. And when I talked to my therapist about it, he said the same thing. He said sometimes it takes a long time to heal, and you just got to focus on yourself and take care of yourself mentally and physically. And he said, you know, it's wise of you to just let them go. And that's what I'm doing. And I think, like I said earlier, that this video is helping me just push them out even further. And it's actually helping. So, yeah. But I know being adopted can suck. I know it can hurt. I know it can be hard. I know a lot of people may resent their biological parents for whatever reason. I totally understand. But if you are adopted and you are curious, do your research. Try to find your biological parents. Because I have a beautiful relationship with my biological mother and her husband. Not sure if he's my stepdad. I just call him dad, honestly. And there's actually a funny story about that. When I texted my mom when I was at student living and I asked if I could call her husband dad, she said he danced around for a while because he got another kid. So he's short, but he's like a little kitten. He's just dorky and nerdy, and I think that goes with all of my family members. They're just big nerds. And then you have Dakota's family, and his family is a whole bunch of autistic assholes. But we're also fun and loving. So, but yeah, comment down below if you guys can relate to this. If you have any questions, if you guys want me to explain my childhood a little bit more, if you guys have questions as to how to approach your adopted parents or your biological parents, I have all the information because I've done both. So yeah, and if you guys just need somebody to talk to about it and just need to vent or cry or whatever, you are more than welcome to comment down below, and I will give you a source of how you can get a hold of me to privately message me, so that we can talk about it more, see what's actually going on. And yeah, Christmas is right around the corner, by the way, and let me know what your guys' like traditions are, what you guys put on your lists, what you guys do with your family. Do you do it at home? Do you do it at your in-laws' house? I'm curious. I really am. I love Christmas. I think Halloween is my Christmas, but Christmas is second best. Yes, I will be putting my link tree in the description below. So if you guys want to send me anything for Christmas, you're more than welcome to. It's not expected, but it is appreciated. And anything that I get from my Amazon wish lists in my link tree, I will make a video saying thank you, opening cards, or whatever comes my way. And yeah, so without further ado, I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, keep smiling, keep your head up, and as always, you guys are beautiful. I know there's a lot going on in this world right now, but it will get better. So, I'll see you guys next week. Oh, hi. You wanna do that? Okay, come here. Sit. You're right. They can't go without seeing you too. Alright. Bye, guys. Oh.